Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about The Last Duel, and this movie is directed by Ridley Scott, and it came out in 2021, and it's pretty infamous that this movie bombed at the box office and didn't make a whole lot of money. It had like a $100 million budget, and it only grossed $30 million in theaters. I believe Ridley Scott was not happy about that, and before I get into the movie, I just would like to mention really quickly the only reason I checked this movie out is because I like Ridley Scott. I still like his movies, and his previous movie, Alien Covenant, I didn't like after revisiting it. The first time I watched it, I enjoyed it. Second time I watched it, I had a lot of issues with it. Bumped it down from like a 7 out of 10 or B plus back when I didn't do my rating system out of 10. It was like school letter grades or whatever. Basically went down to a 4 the second time I watched Alien Covenant, so unfortunately wasn't super stoked about this movie, but I still liked Ridley Scott because I've seen a lot of great movies from him, and at this point I've seen only one bad movie from him, that being Alien Covenant, so I was optimistic about it. And after watching this movie, I thought it was pretty good. The performances were really great in it, and it had a great cast. Ben Affleck was a little distracting at a couple points, but for the most part, I thought he was good. Matt Damon was really good in it too. Adam Driver was great, and Jodie Comer, who I never seen in anything else, I thought she did a really good job in this movie. This movie is 2.5 hours long, but surprisingly enough, it justified the pacing and had a very unique structure, and it's split up into 3 chapters. And each chapter is from a different character's perspective and how they see the events that happened. And because of that, every time we revisit a scene, there's like something slightly different or incredibly obviously different from the last time we were there. And it just adds not only to the plot, but also to the characters and how they just see their own actions and how it affects not only them, but also everyone around them. The action scenes I liked in the movie. I thought that they were well handled, and I did enjoy how bloody the movie got during these action scenes. And there's not a lot, but the film is not afraid to get bloody and disgusting at points, but not too disturbing to the point where it's just like gratuitous or anything like that. It's done so in a way that makes it feel real. And I like how dark this movie is tonally, and how there's basically almost no likable characters outside of the main character. And it adds to the movie a lot. It makes it feel authentic, and you can believe that was probably just a part of the time. And it makes sense, and it adds to the film, in my opinion. I also really enjoyed the characters. I found them to be equally interesting, and they're very well defined. Not just how they're performed and how they're written, but also how the story is told. And like I said, with the 3-chapter story perspective thing that the movie has, it adds a lot to the film, and I really enjoyed that stuff. And when we do get to scenes that were already shown from someone else's perspective, it doesn't get to the point where it's repetitive. We go back to that point because there's an actual purpose to us being there. Like there's new information from that scene that's being presented, and you get to hear what certain characters were talking in one scene, but in other perspectives you don't because we weren't focused on those characters. And overall, everything was just really solid, and my issues with this movie aren't huge for the most part. There was some CGI that looked a little weird. There was a dream sequence that lasted like a minute that I found to be completely unnecessary and just didn't need to be there. And there were a couple side characters towards the end of the film that felt a little cartoonish. And the only reason that stood out to me is because none of the other characters in the movie act like that, and it just felt very out of place. Like you have all these different characters talking in a sense that's very dark and like to the point and like from one perspective, and also like just almost heartless in a sense, but that adds to the world and the characters, whereas you have characters who are talking in such a cartoonish manner that it just feels weird. But in terms of issues that I had with the movie, that's it. Surprisingly enough, I never once felt to the 2.5 hour runtime. Like I was always with it. There was always something to keep me chewing and interested throughout the film. I like the characters. I love the performances. I thought that they did a great job, and the story was compelling with really well-written characters. And overall, the movie did look very nice, and that added to the experience a lot. So definitely check this movie out whenever you get the chance. And with all that being said, I'm going to give The Last Duel a 7 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos as always. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below you thought of The Last Duel, and my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for Superman 2, so look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.